Hi guys. I'll just wait a minute or two just in case anyone joins. But welcome to the stream. My name's Dylan. I'm gonna go through a few points actually. Some a bit more related to studies, related to the university, your subjects and stuff, and a few points from myself and um, things which as a student, I'm sure you'd want to hear about. The reality of how medicine is and how things are in Brno and studying in general. So um, that's what I aim to cover. I don't think this is going to take long, so I can probably wrap up in about 20-25 minutes or so. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment in the chat window, and sort of near the end, I'll try to go over cover any of the questions if possible. Um, okay, so first of all, I'm just going to run through a PowerPoint really quickly. So apologies to those of you who are in the enrollment today. It's the same one, but I'm gonna go through it quickly for everyone else, and also for those of you joining us who aren't in Brno for the orientation week. So this is a presentation which we give to all of the students. So this is from us, from MIMSA. So once again, my name's Dylan. I'm a fourth year medical student, the president of our student organization called MIMSA. And this is the presentation, like I said, we're giving Tuesday to Friday this week. So you'll see it if you come for enrollment this week. So yeah, so first of all, congrats for making it this far. The best way I can put it is that you've done the entrance exam, you've done you jumped that hurdle, and now it's kind of looking ahead at the next 5 or 6 years if you're doing dentistry or medicine. And I think the best way to look at it is from a clean slate. The hard work starts now. It's really important to remember that. um, you know, I hope all of you are ready. I hope you're all rested because it's going to be a tough year, definitely a tough semester. I think trying to fit everything together because you'll need to be able to find a balance between studying and relaxing, and it's not always easy, and students often struggle trying to find that balance. Um, and I appreciate it's made harder because of the current situation. But with that, hopefully with the help of your peers and from the team at MIMSA, we can really help kind of put your mind at ease. So it's a very doable degree. Like I said before. The priority is going to be studying, but do take time to relax as well, adjust to your new surroundings, and definitely try and be as interactive as you possibly can with your study group, because just in case things get worse here in terms of the regulations, it may become harder to meet up in larger groups. So make the most of the time you have in-person events, contact teaching, and stuff like that. So this is the last thing I wanted to just illustrate from this slide is that whatever difficulties you may be going through, obviously now there's not going to be many difficulties, but things may get difficult, things may get hard. So I just want to point out that no matter what happens, you can always contact us. You can always contact me if you have any doubts, if you have any problems, academically or non-academically. And chances are I've heard of the problems before, and students before you have gone through the same problems. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to ask. Usually we've got the answers, and if not, we can refer you to people who will be able to help. Um, so just a quick bit of information about what the organization is. So we're a non-profit organization, been running for quite a while now, and we run a whole bunch of events for the students. So we do a lot of educational events, a lot of social events, and things like charity events. And unfortunately, we're not going to have a packed calendar as we usually would this semester, but we normally do, and I'm sure we will. I'm sure you guys will get to experience everything next year, hopefully, in the next semester, when it's safe to do so. So yeah, like I said, if you have any problems, if we can, help you with anything academic related, then we can, elevate these problems to the appropriate levels at the university. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. So there's 17 of us in the team, so it's quite a large team. You'll be seeing us throughout the week during your enrollments, and definitely get to know us between now and the end of the year. So we actually finish our term in December. So after that point, there'll be a new team taking over. And if you want to look up, this page, you can find all the information about what we do in a lot more detail and who we are on our website. So I've actually linked the website in the description for this video, so you can take a look there. Yeah, hopefully, maybe even in a couple of years down the line, you guys might want to apply for a role. So that would be awesome. Okay, so just very quickly, what do we do? So we have the preclinical team, the most important team for you guys. So the preclinical education team takes care of the first, second, and third year students. So what we really do is we really make sure that you guys are supported throughout your studies, because the first semester is arguably the hardest semester, just because you've got not only medicine to deal with, you have life to deal with. You have to try and adjust to a new country, new language, new currency, new people. So we fully understand that. So last year I introduced the buddy system, which is a mentoring system, where you're paired with an upper year student. So this should already be published. This has already been made for you guys. So just check out the Facebook group for that. Contact your mentor, your upper year student partner, and just ask them for any advice you have, anything you need, any questions, queries. Yeah, about anything here at all. They're ready to help. We've got the study hub. The second point there is the study hub. This is available on our website, completely free. It's a Google Drive with resources which students have made. So check that out. It's on our website. And then in everything else, there are things which will hopefully be running this semester. We're going to do a lot of anatomy seminars, the same format of this video. So we'll be doing YouTube live lectures. And yeah, so then we've got clinical team who do stuff for the upper year students. Social team, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do many social events, but we do a lot of events, social club events, sports events, barbecues and stuff. The charity team do a lot of work in the spring semester. Things got cancelled last semester, so we're going to try and do a lot of charity events this semester. They may be online, but we're still going to do our best. And welfare is quite a new position. If you guys are ever struggling, with mental health issues, or you're just, getting very stressed out, anxious, it's all completely normal. Like I said before, we've all gone through it. I've gone through it myself. Times where things seem a bit too much, and it's always nice to be able to talk to someone. So you can actually contact the welfare officer on our website completely anonymously. So just check the mental health tab on mimsaonline.com. And for 1 hour every week, so on a Sunday, our MIMSA officer, Josie, will be available. You can talk to her anonymously. If you want to just contact someone for professional help, you can do that as well. We've got a list of contacts, list of information about all of that stuff. And PR is responsible for our social media, our making sure everything looks nice, and making sure we have our partners and sponsors on board as well. And then there's myself, Ali is the VP, and Stefan is Secretary Treasurer. And one other thing I forgot to mention is that our group of 17 is made up of a mixture of medical students. We've got one dental student on the team. Our secretary treasurer is his name's Stefan. He's a dental student, and we've got one physiotherapist student as well. So she's in the clinical education team. So you can check out all the contacts on the website. Feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions, like I said. Okay, so this is the orientation week. So you can see where we are today. So tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, enrollment every day. You guys should have an email. You should have been told when your enrollment is. So please turn up on the day of your enrollment with your passport, with your secondary school certificates, all the information you guys need. And you can see tomorrow afternoon, evening, we have escape rooms planned. So this is a virtual event. On Thursday the 1st, the preclinical team is doing a really, really important lecture, which is the semester guidelines talk. And they're going to go through everything you need to know about the first semester in terms of academics. So what books you need, what subjects you have, how to study for those subjects. Really good insights and pearls of wisdom. So I'd really highly recommend turning up to that. And that's going to be a free online event, again on YouTube, and the links will be posted on the Facebook group. And Friday is the trivia night, so we're currently organizing this. We're going to do trivia nights, then we're going to do head-to-heads. So those are our events. And like, just to wrap up, if you would like to contact us, this is how you can do so. This is a quick link to our website. I'll upload this video to the page, so you can access this later on. Yeah, so that is a quick overview of who we are and what we do. And if you have any questions, like I said at the beginning, just feel free to use the chat function here, or yeah, just message us. It's very accessible to chat with us. So for the remainder of the time, I'm going to just talk about a few other points. Just bear with me. Okay. Awesome. Right. Okay. So, very briefly, I know the preclinical team will go through this, but just so you have it clearly in your mind, and I have the books here as well. This is for medics and for dental students. 2 white books, faculty-made white books, you definitely need to get. This one for anatomy. So, anatomy of the human locomotor system. And you need to get this one for biophysics. So these ones are made by the professors, so they will examine you on that content. In addition, there is a small green, like an A5-sized Latin book. There is this yellow Czech book, which also a good idea to have. In addition to that, the only other book I would say is a priority to get is an atlas. So an atlas is an anatomy guide. It's a compilation of images. So me personally, I use Netters. So this is my atlas, Netters. You can use Netters, you can use Sobota, you can use any atlas. And those are really the core books you guys need. But like I said, on Thursday, they'll go through this in more detail. One other thing I want to mention is a new partnership we've created with other international student organizations in the country. I've also linked this in the description below. This organization is called UIMS, so United International Medical Students, Medical Schools. Sorry, and we're a group of like I said, we lead our own student organizations, and we've come together. We're trying to make events. We're going to do some competitions, and hopefully there'll be a lot of opportunities there to learn from fellow medical students in other faculties in the country. So there are 8 in total. And finally, I wanted to just mention something not related to MIMSA or UIMS, but something for me personally. And this is a blog that I have. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because I write a lot about university life. I've written a lot about the university subjects, how to pass them, from experiences which I've had myself, and also I take the experiences from pretty much everyone I talk to. So I kind of just distill that down into advice relating to each subject. So please take a look at that. I've got some stuff on anatomy, on biophysics as well, so you can have a look there. Another reason I wanted to mention that is because I have an article there talking about the dropout rates, and this is a question which I get asked a lot, which I've had to answer a lot for a lot of prospective students, and I think a lot of you will be thinking about the dropout rates. If you don't already know, it's no secret that our university has high dropout rates. It's actually quite common in all of the universities in the Czech Republic, where the statistics show a roughly 30 to 40% of your first year group will actually make it on time in 5 years if you're a dental student, and in 6 years if you're a medical student. So only about a third will make it to graduation. And what that means is that doesn't mean that the 70% will actually leave the university, but it just means that 70% will not make it. So they may leave, they may, or what's more common is they fall back a year or 2 years. and this is just because they haven't been able to pass the exams on time. So this is something I just wanted to talk about. If you're confused about the dropout rates, if you want to know more about why the dropout rates are so high, take a look at the article. I've linked the blog in the description as well, so you can have a look there. So I just wanted to just touch a bit more about that because I have this opportunity now to kind of just talk to you a bit about how to survive. Because the most important thing is how to survive. It's not just about how to study medicine and how to pass your subjects. It's about how to deal with everything as one. So the first and foremost, you have to try and learn how to learn effectively. So you need to find out what works best for you. And in order to even do that, you need to have a good work environment. You need to have a good work ethic. You need to realize that you're all medical students now, or dental students, or physiotherapy students. Your journey starts here. It's going to be hard work for the next few months, definitely the next year. But things will get easier. Things will definitely get easier, and they will get easier because you will be more accustomed. You'll be more used to how things work here, how the different individual subjects work, how the information system online works, how the study office operates, how MIMSA works, and you just become more used to the city in general. So that will come with time, I guarantee. So at the moment, it's probably a bit flustering, it's probably a bit confusing. But the best advice I can give you right now is, take a look at the information system online. It will really help you. Just familiarize yourself with that. So is.muni.cz. Play around with all the links, explore everything. Have a look at mimsaonline.com. The link again is down in the description. Have a look at the tabs. There's some useful information there, especially the study hub. And yeah, just really start to plan your subjects out ahead. So I don't want to overlap too much on what the preclinical team will discuss on Thursday in the semester guidelines, but the most important subject for you to start studying, or not start now, but to actually start thinking about, is biophysics, because you will have biophysics. You have the exam for biophysics this semester, and you'll have the exam for anatomy in summer, so summer 2021, because it's a 2-semester course. So the information system, the MIMSA website, and I want to draw your attention to this as well. So for those of you who are in enrollment today, you've all received one. Everyone will receive one. So if you have enrollment coming up in the next week, you'll receive one of these. And this has all of the kind of rules, the laws of Masaryk University. And then the second half of the book contains detailed tables, which are every single subject you will have from your first to your final year. And it tells you about the prerequisite system. So I just want to touch on that very quickly. The prerequisite system basically indicates that you need to pass certain subjects in order to do other subjects later on. And this is really important. It's really important because it's the reason why students fail and why students are held back in their studies, because they fail to pass all of the necessary prerequisite subjects to go on to further subjects. So the good example which was used today is that in second year you will start a course called physiology, and you can only do the physiology course. So this is something you'll start in September of next year. So you can only do physiology if you have successfully passed biophysics, which is examined this winter, number one, and biology. Now biology is examined in spring, so you need to have passed both. So this is a very simple example, and everything is kind of connected in a web with this prerequisite system. So but it's all explained here. So just take a look at this book. The last part of the book, find first year, first semester, first year, second semester, and yeah, just familiarize yourself with that. It will really help. Yeah, if there's one thing I can preach, it's discipline. Time management and discipline. It's really the only way you're going to be able to stay on top of your work. Please, I really encourage you to talk to upper year students, because the upper year students, especially the second and third year students, are the best in terms of being able to give you advice on, because they've only recently done these exams. Second year students have just done anatomy. They'll know exactly how they did biophysics, biology, anatomy. So they'll be able to give you kind of fresh, current, up-to-date advice. So please talk to as many upper year students as you can, but exercise some caution. I say that because it's not uncommon that upper year students will like try to scare the lower year students and say things are impossible. Biophysics. I heard when I first came here that biophysics is impossible. Don't worry, no one passes it first time. This is a load of nonsense. It's completely doable. Perfectly possible to pass first time. But take everything with a pinch of salt. But just take on as much advice as you can. And if you are struggling to understand how a certain subject works, or you need some good advice, I think the best place to come to is MIMSA. Just contact anyone in the MIMSA team, especially the preclinical team. They'll be able to give you the up-to-date advice on that. So yeah, just to reiterate, discipline, time management. If there's one thing you take away from this talk, it's to start early. So look at your subjects in the information system. Look at what you're going to be doing in the next semester, and try and focus on everything week to week. So before the week starts, read up on your lectures, try and understand the topics. You may even just have the topic. So like for anatomy, for example, you may only know that in the next week you will be studying the upper extremity bones, or the muscles of the upper extremity. If you know that, then use the white book, and so this one, and use an atlas and study. Just sit down, study, dedicate some time. Find a nice place to study. It's kind of difficult now because libraries and things are closed. Their opening times and closing times are quite unpredictable. It's really difficult to predict what's going to happen in terms of that. So it's important to try and find a nice quiet space, whether it's in your apartments, your flat, in dorms, or with others, or in the libraries, campus library, for example. Yeah, definitely get stuck down. Just remember that there is absolutely no harm in studying too hard. There really isn't. None of us are saying you need to be studying at maximum intensity now. But if you work hard now, you're just saving yourself the stress and the worry later on. Because just think back to those dropout rates. They're high for a reason. A lot of students fall behind. A lot of students get affected. I'll be honest with you, I have been affected myself. And I think that's the reason why I'm so kind of vocal about these things, because I really don't want to see more students struggle because they don't understand the prerequisite system, and they don't understand when the best time to study is and how to study efficiently. So yeah. Got any specific questions about subjects? If you need any help with specific subjects, you can contact us. I think you should always try and contact your seminar teacher as well. So whoever's doing your seminars or lectures, whether it's anatomy, biology, whichever subject, if you're struggling with a concept, go and talk to them. If you're still struggling or you just don't understand things which they're trying to explain, come to us. The students are going to be the best resource as well. And if you are, I would say, if you're really struggling with a concept, you just don't understand how to study something, or stuff is just not going in. I do tutor, so that's something completely separate from MIMSA or anything else. So again, the information is on the website, so you can just come to me. We can make a plan and go through how it could work. So yeah. So that was kind of pretty much all I wanted to say. Hopefully you take away some positives, and the positives being, there is enough time to relax. There is enough time to party, socialize, do all the things you want to do. There's a lot of opportunities for sports, and, hobbies and things like that. One thing I found when I came here was that every single hobby I had before I came here just vanished, disappeared. I just didn't have the time for it. Because I found myself, just in the books studying, or socializing, and yeah. So I think it's really important to stick to what but kind of just refocus on your own self. Kind of look inside and just think about how I can, maintain a good positive outlook, maintain a good mental health, and balance my work and social life. That's the most important thing. And you do that right, and you'll be absolutely fine. You'll get through in 5 or 6 years, depending on which course you're doing, and yeah, you won't have any problems. So, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, okay. So I see a couple of questions. So when is the last day of enrollment? It's happening on Friday. So it's happening every day this week. So Tuesday to Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, if you have enrollment in November, that's fine. Just obviously it's not possible for a lot of students. I appreciate that they can't come to Brno for this week, so it's absolutely fine. We're all aware of that. So if you've been told a day in November, that's fine. Just come on that day. If you are struggling to, if you just don't know when your enrollment is, you haven't been notified, the best person to email is the study office. So the head of the study office is Helena Melikarova. You can find her contact details in our Facebook group, or you can search for med.muni.cz, the official Faculty of Medicine website. You can find her details there. So yeah, unless there's any more questions, we can wrap up there. It wasn't a particularly long talk, but hopefully you guys remember this talk when you are stressed, you're working long hours, it's winter, your exams are close. Try and keep a good work ethic. Start early. Don't leave it too late to start studying for things. And my honest advice is keep up with everything each week, so things don't pile up. How to study long before the examination period? Yeah. So for biophysics, I would recommend starting your exam revision, so your intense exam revision, going through the book, going through the oral exam question list, which will be published on the information system. You can probably start that in, I would say, start of November or middle of November. You can start to look at it like that around that time. So that's this book, Fundamentals of Biophysics and Medical Technology. So this book is available in the campus bookstore, and if you're coming for enrollment this week, we will show you the bookstore. So you'll have the option to buy this book this week if you're coming for enrollment. So don't worry. And also, this is the anatomy book. So this is the anatomy of human locomotor system. It's a very thin book, but it's essential to have. And again, if you're coming this week for enrollments, we'll show you this where you can buy this from campus. Traffic light system. So traffic light system. Unfortunately, we don't know. No one really knows if it's going to go red. At the moment, it's yellow, amber. So that means that the university is restricted from having groups larger than 50 in an indoor space, which is why lectures are obviously cancelled. Not cancelled, but in-person lectures are cancelled. So all the lectures will be online. And out from the entire university, the medical faculty has been granted some sort of exemptions, and they're trying to protect the medical faculty classes. So laboratory classes, clinical classes, anything practical, they're trying to save. So things may get worse, but the dean of our faculty and the rector of the entire university are these guys are working very hard to maintain contact teaching for as long as possible. Obviously, just as long as it's safe to do so. So things could get worse. It could go red. I'm talking about the traffic lights, but if it does, you'll see more and more classes being online. Unfortunately. For biophysics, yes. So the exam will be on oral exam. Come attend the talk on Thursday. So this is the semester guidelines talk. This is the preclinical team at MIMSA will be giving a talk. They'll go through full detail about each subject, each exam, the resources. So yeah, but the final exam for biophysics is oral. Majority, if not all, of the exams end with an oral exam as the one-on-one with the professor, which that determines if you've not only passed or failed, but then what your grade is. So from A to E. It's not possible to buy these books online, unfortunately. You can only buy these books from the campus bookstore. So that's the current information I have. As far as I know, that it's not possible to buy these online. And I understand that's quite difficult if you're not here in Brno. But yeah, sadly, it's the only place to buy them is the campus bookstore. Yeah, so we're not planning any events to do meetups at the moment, just because um, it's very difficult to organize things because the government has announced they are reviewing current guidelines. There may be a lockdown coming soon, so we don't want to book anything. We actually had a whole bunch of events planned. We had club events booked. We had 3 parties booked and bunch of events this week, which unfortunately I had to make the decision to cancel, just because it would have been irresponsible to have big events. Practical classes. The if you have practical classes, they will be starting from next week. So pay attention to the information system online. Um, if you haven't come for enrollment, don't worry. We'll show you how to use the information system. On Thursday at 3 p.m., I believe, there is a talk which is going to go through how to use the information system, all the different parts of it, where you find all the information about your classes, your timetables, your grades, everything. Um, Tips on online shorthand note-taking, fast-paced lectures. Um, so it depends what kind of learner you are. If you are the kind of learner who likes to just sit and just absorb the information, take it in, understand it, then that's one way of learning. And you can revisit the lecture later on. I know other people who like to constantly take notes. The lectures, especially in the first year, are very well made. So obviously you can take some shorthand notes, but generally everything is quite well made, quite well written, is quite succinct, quite high yield anyway on the lecture slide. So um, it's up to you really how much information you copy from the lecture and write into your notes. But if they're online, it's a very high chance that they will be recorded on Microsoft Teams. So you will be able to revisit those lectures later on if they're recorded. Also, the presentations themselves, the PPT files, will be on the information system. So you'll be able to even look at the lecture notes, the slides themselves, afterwards, and maybe even before. They may upload the PowerPoints before your lecture, so you can go through those as well to kind of help make your notes. Um, no, MIMSA doesn't share any past papers. You can ask if students individually have any papers, but MIMSA does not share past papers, no. But if you check out the study hub, the MIMSA study hub, so this is the link which is on the website, so mimsaonline.com. If you look in the description for this video, you'll see I've written the website there, and you click on study hub, just make an account. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and you can then you click on first year, and then you can see all of the subjects available. These are just resources, student documents. We've got some textbooks there and resources which we think you guys can benefit from. So if you're still in your country, it's unfortunate. It's just not possible to access those books because they're only sold. I'm talking about these white books, because they're only sold in the campus bookstore. It's unfortunately not possible. I will ask about this. I will ask if it is possible to buy them online, and I will if it is possible, I will put an update on the Facebook Freshers group and Instagram just so you guys know. Yeah. Um, for physiotherapy, yeah, always a very small group size in physiotherapy. I would recommend going to our website, clicking on the about page, checking the board page, and if you go and find a girl called Ada, she is a physiotherapist in the MIMSA team. She's a final year physiotherapist student. So if you need any help, you can just go directly to her if you're a physiotherapist student. I'm sure she'd be really happy to help. Eduroam. So Eduroam is the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So the way to log in is it's a bit complicated. So it's your UCHO. So this is your student identification number. At med.muni.cz. So your ucho at med.muni.cz, and then the password is the password that you log in with, so your secondary password, and that gives you access to the Wi-Fi not only at campus but all of the university faculties around the city. So it's quite useful. Thank you for the questions. Keep asking if you have them. If you have any questions you'd like to send to me or in private, feel free to do so. You can contact me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm most responsive there. Otherwise, you can contact the MIMSA team, like I've said. So yeah, thank you guys for attending. One take-home message before I wrap up is study hard. Make sure you know which books you need. Make sure you know when your classes are and what subjects and what topics you're going to be doing in those classes, covering. And if you need help, always ask. Best piece of advice I can give, because there are always people here who can help. So yeah, don't be shy, because we've all been in the situation you guys are in. So more than happy to help. Okay, so yeah, I will stop the stream there. So any more questions you have, like I said, just send me a message. Otherwise, thank you guys for attending. Thank you for coming. I will post this video so you can watch this if you need to later on. And yeah, take care. If you guys have enrollments coming up, I will see you this week. Okay, thank you guys. Take care.